to our deep dive. Today, we're going to be tackling a really timely and, potentially transformative topic, AI's impact on racial disparities in education.
Okay.
You've given us a ton to work with here. We've got Stanford Law Research, EdSurge News, even some debate prompts, and the White House's take on AI.
Wow.
This is a big one.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right in.
Sounds good.
I mean, it's interesting because this isn't just theoretical.
Right.
AI is already in classrooms.
Yeah.
The choices that we make now about its development and how we choose to use it are going to impact education for years to come.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what makes this so fascinating and so important to talk about right now.
Right.
Could AI level the playing field? Or will it just worsen these existing inequalities?
Yeah.
And I think to kind of get a better understanding of where we might be headed, I think it's helpful to look back a little bit at the history of AI in education.
So AI in education, this is not new.
No, not at all.
We can trace it back to the 1970s with programs like Scholar, which quizzed students on South American geography.
It's amazing how long we've been thinking about these things and working on them.
Yeah, but Scholar was limited to specific tasks, right?
Yeah, it was.
Then we get generative AI like ChatGPT, which can create new content like essays and code.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big change.
Huge change. Yeah, it's both very exciting and I think a little bit unsettling for a lot of educators.
So how are we currently using AI in schools? What's the state of things?
So we're seeing it in a few key ways.
Okay.
We're seeing AI being used in adaptive learning platforms like Dreambox and Kidaptive.
Yeah.
And what these platforms do is they personalize learning by adjusting to each student's needs.
So it's basically a curriculum that molds itself
to
your strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So that's one way.
Yeah.
Then there are these AI-driven tutoring systems like Carnegie Learning's Mathia, which is like having an on-demand tutor available 24/7 outside of school hours.
Wow.
So that's a pretty exciting development.
Yeah.
And then there are also AI-powered writing tools like Grammarly, which help students to refine their writing skills.
So there's a lot of focus on personalized learning.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, can AI truly bridge achievement gaps?
Right.
I mean, what are the potential benefits here?
I mean, let's look at a real-world example.
Okay.
The Ready to Learn program in Pittsburgh used a hybrid AI-human tutoring system.
Okay.
This program doubled math assessment gains for marginalized students.
Wow.
So I think it shows AI can make a tangible difference.
Doubling assessment gains, that's huge.
It is, yeah.
It seems like AI could be a really powerful tool for supporting students who might be struggling in a traditional classroom setting. Are there other examples like this?
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
Take Project Topeka, for example. This program was used in a California middle school to support multilingual learners by providing real-time feedback on their writing.
Wow.
And it really helped to level the playing field for those students who are still developing their English skills.
So it's encouraging to see how AI can be used to create these more inclusive learning environments.
Yeah.
What about accessibility for students with disabilities?
AI can help there too.
Okay.
Things like speech-to-text and text-to-speech tools can make a big difference.
Right.
They allow students with disabilities to access learning materials and participate in class in ways that might not have been possible before.
It's clear that AI has the potential to personalize learning support teachers and make education more accessible.
Right.
But there are concerns too, right?
Yeah, of course. For instance, even with the best intentions, AI algorithms can reflect biases present in the data they're trained on.
Okay.
And this can lead to some unintended consequences.
Can you give us an example of that?
Sure. Think about predictive analytics. There have been instances in Nevada and Wisconsin where AI tools designed to identify students at risk of dropping out were actually more likely to flag Black and Latino students.
That's really concerning.
Yeah.
It sounds like just labeling students as at risk could actually become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
Influencing teacher perceptions and even affecting a student's belief in their own abilities.
You're exactly right.
And this problem goes beyond high school.
It does, yeah.
We see similar concerns in college admissions. Even when algorithms use race-neutral data, historical inequalities embedded in data like SAT scores and zip codes can result in racially disparate outcomes.
Absolutely.
So the question becomes, what happens if AI raises overall achievement, but widens the gap between wealthy and underprivileged students?
Yeah.
Is that a success?
That's a really tough question to answer.
Right.
And it's one of the many ethical dilemmas I think we face as AI becomes more and more prevalent in education.
And then there's the issue of student privacy and data collection.
Oh, absolutely.
AI thrives on data,
He does.
which raises questions about consent ownership and potential misuse. And those concerns become even more pronounced when you consider the digital divide.
Right.
The unequal access to technology and the internet that disproportionately affects students of color, low-income families,
Absolutely.
and rural communities.
Absolutely.
Right, even with the best AI tools,
Yeah.
they're not effective if students can't access them.
Exactly.
What kind of impact does the digital divide have in the context of AI?
Let's look at some statistics.
Okay.
Pew Research found that in 2020, nearly half of low-income parents lacked reliable internet access.
Wow.
And a significant percentage of Black teens hadn't even heard of ChatGPT.
As of last year.
As of last year.
Yeah, those numbers are really alarming.
They are.
It highlights the need for something that we've been hearing more and more about, AI literacy.
Right.
It's not enough to just provide access to technology.
Yeah.
We also need to make sure students and educators understand how to use it effectively.
Yeah, that's a crucial point.
Yeah.
It's not just about access. It's about empowering students to understand use and critically evaluate these AI tools.
Right.
Without that literacy, AI could end up widening the gap in academic performance. And as a result, future career prospects as AI skills become more and more important in the job market.
AI is evolving so rapidly. How do we keep up with these changes?
Right.
Especially when it comes to regulation.
Yeah, that's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
It's really hard to create laws for technology that is constantly changing.
Right.
And in the absence of clear federal AI legislation, we're seeing states like Colorado and California kind of taking the lead, enacting the laws to protect against algorithmic discrimination.
So it's a bit of a patchwork approach right now.
Yeah, it is.
But the White House has taken some steps, right?
They have the blueprint for an AI Bill of Rights. And the Department of Education's recommendations for using AI responsibly in schools, those are good starting points. They're trying to kind of set some ground rules for how AI should be used in a way that respects individual rights and promotes equity.
It sounds like there's a lot of discussion happening.
There is.
But concrete action might be lagging behind.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
What about the tech companies themselves? What role do they play in all of this?
They play a huge role.
Yeah.
Companies like Microsoft, OpenAI, Google, they're driving the development of AI. So we have to ask ourselves, can they self-regulate?
Right.
We're seeing some initiatives like the Frontier Model Forum and the AI Safety Fund, but it remains to be seen how effective these efforts will be.
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
The history of AI in education, the potential benefits, the risks of bias, the digital divide, AI literacy, the need for regulation, and the role of tech companies.
It's a lot.
It feels a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
It is a lot.
Are there any bright spots? What can be done to ensure that AI is a force for positive change in education?
I think there are definitely things we can do, and that's what we'll explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll look at some potential solutions and strategies for using AI to address these challenges and promote a more equitable education system.
I'm looking forward to it. We've covered a lot.